Hi friends. Welcome back to my channel Testing Mini Bikes. I am your friend Abdul Shaktivel, and I was very busy with my personal and professional life, and that's the reason I haven't make videos for a very long time. But I'm planning to do at least one video every week, and I need your complete support in sharing this knowledge to other colleagues and friends of yours, because the number of views that I get is hardly 200, right? So the amount of effort that I put in is really huge to make these kind of videos. I really appreciate if you guys can subscribe to the channel and also share it with your friends so that they can also gain these knowledges, right? Yes, with that being said, we'll continue with the framework creation that we have done so far. All this time we were focusing on creating this POJO. So the user data is the POJO that we want to create. It has 5 fields, which we want to fill it into the this particular form, right? So we have 6 fields here, but the password and confirm password are both same values, so we haven't created 2 different fields for that. But yeah, that's it. And to create this user data, we can use constructors, we can use a builder pattern, we can also load it from an external file. There are multiple ways to do it, but here in this case I used fixture factory. I created a template for these things so that this particular class deals about all these things. Okay, so we are separating all the implementations, or we are moving away all these noises to a separate class so that they can be managed in a much better way, right? For example, if somebody is telling, hey, I want a valid template, what this fixture factory will do is it will create with a POJO with 5 fields, and for user role it will pick a random value from any of these two. The same way, it creates all these things. So yeah, this has been explained very detailed in the fixture factory video. If you haven't watched that, you can also watch that. Good. Now this being said, we have now the data ready to be injected to our test. Now I also have field details where it will go here, and it will fill all the form here: set user role, employee, username, status. All these things will be filled with the data that we pass, right? So it's a very simple class, right? Now let's go here, and also let's try to make some assertion, like say I enter all these values, and I want to assert something. Maybe I'll click on save, but there are some password mismatch. But let's assume after clicking on this, I want to validate a success message is displayed. Okay, so for that I have created a method called as is success message displayed. But for now, I'm not doing any, I'm not getting text from a field and then validating it, all that. But I'm just directly returning true for now. Okay, maybe in real time you will return the text from here, and we will validate whether the text is matching. So for now, time being, we are not doing it. We are simply returning. We assume that the success message is displayed, and we are returning true. So it's a very simple thing, right? Good. Now let's try to run it in debug mode so that we can understand what's happening. So first, it will create a fixture for this user data, and it will be injected into the data test. So now it's opening the website. So it's navigating to the users page. Yes, it should click on add. Yeah, now it's waiting for us to do something about it, right? Let's step into this, and let's fill different values. For example, we want to get what this value is. User role is ESS. So after performing this step, it should fill ESS there, right? Let's do a step over, and if you notice, ESS is filled. Let's also, here the employee name is admin A. Let's see what's happened if I step over this. Yes, it's entering all the required things. So the username is basically ABCDF1234, which is what filled here. We will step over, step over, step over, and we can see all these data are getting filled, right? So at the end we have employee name, which will also get filled now. Yeah, that is admin A. And let's do the step over again. So we have everything ready, right? So, and maybe I'll skip all these things and complete the test. So now the test will get passed, right? So everything is getting passed, but we don't have an assertion. So what I do, I'll say is after fill details, maybe I'll return this so that I can assert stuff. Right. And let's go here, and is success message display. So I can say is success message displayed, I can assert this, right? So with assertions dot assert that, and I want to verify is success message displayed is true. But when you assert something for a true, don't just assert it. Also give some valid information with fail message of why. If there is a failure, we need to know. We should not want to see expected true, actual false. We don't want to do that. So instead, we give a fail message. Okay, maybe the success message in the field is not displayed, right? Whatever, some meaningful error message. So now the text is very complete. But imagine this is just one combination of entering all the fields and looking for positive scenario. That I click on save, a success message is displayed. Look, I want to cover all different combinations. Suppose I just want to enter username and I want to validate something happening. For example, I want to enter employee name like this, and I want to see employee does not exist. So this is my next test case. I want to do that. How will I do this? So you don't have to create a new test case. Rather, we'll try to cover all these combinations in one this particular thing, right? The only thing that is stopping us from doing this is this fill details method. The problem with this approach is we are passing the data and we are fixing the behavior. So behavior is fixed, just the data changes. But imagine in Java 8 or in functional programming, we can pass the behavior itself. So this behavior can be passed from the test so that you can customize this behavior, right? That's what we are going to do. Again, guys, if you haven't watched my Java 8 playlist, please do watch that. The world is moving towards functional programming. It's almost Java 18 release now, and people are still not getting adapted to Java 8, which is very sad. I'm pretty sure if you watch that playlist, you can think in a very different way, right? So now we are going to pass this behavior, not just the data alone. So let's see how we can do this and how we can cover different combinations. So for that, let's also, we need data, right? For just entering only the username, we also have one more template. Let's see what is the template. So just username. Okay, that's the template. This is employee name. Okay, maybe we'll put it as employee name, right? Because we want to do just employee name. Okay, it will just give me employee name, right? Employee name with this value. Okay, now once I enter this, I want to validate this particular thing is present, employee does not exist or not. Okay, that's what I want to validate. Let's go here and let's also create user data, just employee name, or you can mention like validate employee does not exist here, whatever. But for now I'm just giving simple name, and I'll copy this, paste it, and the template is just employee name. Okay, that's the template. So I'll give it here. So this is going to give me a POJO. Now instead of this, let's comment out this and not use this for some time, and let's pass just employee name, because yeah, now this will pass a user data with just employee field in it. Okay, now we are passing this, that's fine. But how can we pass the behavior? That's what we're going to do. So to pass the behavior, we're going to use something like BiPredicate. Okay, so BiPredicate is something that takes in two input parameters and returns a boolean, true or false. Okay, so we're going to wrap all the logics inside this. Okay, or you can also use by consumers, or yeah, whatever you can use by functions. It depends, but for now I'm using BiPredicate, and I'll try to wrap everything inside this. So here I need two things. One, the data. For example, if I go here, I need the data, and also I need this behavior. Okay, so that's the two thing I want. So first I want the data. Two, I want the behavior. So behavior can be only given from the add user component. Okay, because this class is present inside add user component. So if I want to access any of these methods like set confirm password, set password text box, I need to create an object for this. Based on that only I can access all these methods. They are all non-static methods, right? So I need the add user component. So let me give this name as just employee name predicate, whatever. And this needs two input, that is, sorry guys, it should be So it needs two input. That's it. User data. So now if I have these two inputs, I can define the behavior inside it. Okay, so first user data, add user component dot, I'll set only the employee name text box with the value from user data dot get employee name. That's it. Once I do this, I want to validate whether this particular thing, okay, let's inspect this. And let's see, this is like, let's create an XPath for this, maybe span or span at the rate for code this. So this is an XPath for this, right? Let's also create an element there. Guys, just be with me. I'm sure this is going to make a lot of difference to you guys. Just be with me for some time. So let's also duplicate this. Let's put the XPath first. And then here I can say error message, error message, error underscore message. Okay. For employee name. What? And here I'll have a method created for this. Either I can return the text and then assert it in the let's say in the test, or I can compare it here itself. Is error displayed for employee name? And this doesn't need any input, so I just basically going to do so return error dot, right? Maybe I'll do get text, but yeah, so get driver dot find elements. What is this? Error message dot get text. Okay. Dot equals ignore case, and what is the thing? So equal ignore case of this employee does not exist, right? Again, guys, so this basically returns a boolean, right? So that's what we want. And guys, this one you can wrap it inside the get text method, but for now time being I'm not doing it, but you have to put it inside the helper class and then get the text out of it. Okay, so don't do the implementation here, right? Now let's go here, and this is done. Once this is done, I also want to do add user component dot is error displayed. So now this basically returns me a boolean, which what I want at the end. So return. That's it, guys. So now we have the behavior ready. That is, if I have user data and this, I'll pick the add user component. I'll set the employee text box with this value, and I also verify whether displayed for error messages displayed for employee name. That's it. So now we have the behavior ready, we have the data ready. So let's do that. So again, I cannot use stream here. I need to pass two values. One is user data and one is this predicate. So I can basically use return new object array. You can go to the conventional way, and we can first pass the user data, that is just employee name, and then we can pass just employee name predicate. Okay, and that's it. Now it will return object array. It takes in two things. One is this and another one is the BiPredicate and predicate. That's it, guys. Now we will pass these two values here, predicate. This field details will also accept, and let's go here, and instead of all these things, okay, all these things, let's comment out all these things. We don't need all that, right? We already have the behavior defined, so we just need to predicate dot test. We need user data and we need the add user component. You can give add new add user component, you can do this, or you can just pass this. Both are same, right? So anything is fine, right? and instead of you doing this, you can return this, and this basically returns a boolean, right? And let's go here. Instead of you doing the call, it basically gives you back the boolean, so which you can, is success message displayed or is message displayed. Let's make it as is message displayed, message display. Okay, so now we have all the combination covered here, right? Let's try to check what's happening. Let's go here and let's put a debug point. Let's do a debug. So guys, we define the behavior, we have the data ready. Let's see, let's remove this. Let's go again, let's try to debug again. So we have the behavior here, we have the data here, we have the behavior here, right? And there is a test failure. Let's see what is that. And it is telling method mismatch or exception has no parameters defined but was found to be using a data provider inherited from class level annotation. So it is doing something here. Let's copy this and put it here. So we are returning data pro. So let's make it this as a data provider and let's see what's happening. You can cover n number of combinations with this approach, guys. You just need to change the data and the behavior. That's it. Just one test method covers 100 combinations. The code becomes very readable. All your things are separated. So if you want to change your behavior, you change it here. If you want to change your data, you change it in the add user template. So that's everything gets managed really well. Let's go here and let's see. Yeah, it's now here waiting for it. Now I'll try to do the step over and let's see what's happening. See, it entered this and employee does not exist is also being verified. And let's do this. Now, if you notice, this is actually returning as true because that is displayed there, right? And we will, yeah, it is true. So all these things will pass, right? So yeah, that's all about it, guys. So we can manage this in a much better way. It's not as clumsy as it looks here. Let's say you want to test two datas, you can just pass, this is the one of the value, second value valid, and you can also have one more behavior defined. Maybe I'll move it here so that it's more readable. By predicate valid behavior, so we want to enter all the fields, right, not just one field. So add user component dot set status drop down, and then you pass two values, either of these, right? Now user data dot status, same way you can basically copy it from here because we want to fill all these values. Let's copy it here and let's put it here, right? And so I just need add user component before that, right? And at the end, I just need add user component is success message display. That's it, guys. So now we have valid predicate, okay, valid predicate, and we will pass this valid predicate. So not this one, I have to add comma. Yeah, so this is first set of value where we are passing the valid test data, and we are passing the valid predicate. Second set of value, we are passing just employee name, user data, and the behavior, just employee name. So that's it, guys. So let's try to run both of them. Let's see what happens. You can also run them in parallel. So different combination you can cover, right? And then you just have only one test method to handle all of them. That's the beauty about this. So there is a better way of managing this. I'll tell you guys how we can manage this more effectively instead of having very clumsy code here. But just look at the awesomeness of this particular code, not anything else for now. Okay. Let's go here and see the execution. So please start learning Java 8. It's a mandate. You have to know about functional programming. That's a necessity nowadays. Okay. So it's now then never. Like if you have plans to go to some other studies or something, you can skip it. But if you're going to be in automation, it's definitely an S to learn it now. Okay, so that's what, guys. Both the tests got passed. I'll see you guys in next video where I will optimize this with a better thing. Maybe we will use JUnit instead of TestNG. Yeah, that's a little surprise, but I'll see you guys in another great video. Until then, tada, bye from Amudan. Bye bye, guys.